So the discussion on Batman's no-kill rule is floating around on Comic Talk again. And while I have discussed this in length on lives, I haven't really made a video about it. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a video discussing the no-kill rule and my thoughts on it, as well as my thoughts on the discourse and discussion that goes on in regards to his no-kill rule. And I think the most important place to start is the discussion on why Batman has a no-kill rule. Because the why is very important. When it comes down to current continuity with Batman and his no-kill rule, there's multiple examples that you can pull from that gives you the why on Batman not killing. But one of my favorite examples is from Batman 650, part of the Under the Hood story arc. This is where Jason confronts Batman on why he's never killed the Joker. And Batman said that it'd be too easy to kill the Joker. That once he crosses that line, allows himself to go down that road into that place, he'll never come back. One of Batman's character faults, something that Bruce is all too aware of, is his obsession and his escalation. Bruce knows that if he kills anyone, that it opens up the doorway for him to go down a dark path, a path in which there is no coming back from. The best analogy that can be made is Bruce knows he's an alcoholic. He knows once he takes that one sip of alcohol, he will go down that dark path. We can then take that analogy and use it on why Batman is okay with other people killing, like Jim Gordon, Superman, or Wonder Woman. Bruce applies his no-kill rule in those situations just to himself, not out of selfishness, but because he knows he can't come back from it, unlike people like Superman, Wonder Woman, or Jim Gordon, who could come back from that. Someone who is an alcoholic who knows that they should not drink are not opposed to other people drinking, but in that scenario, they know it's not good for them to drink. But then the question comes to, why does he impose his rule on himself and also the Bat family? Well, there's 3 reasons to that. First is Batman, the father figure of the Bat family. Why would he ever be okay with his family killing? Why would a father figure be okay with his children or loved ones taking a life? No self-respecting parent would be okay with their child going down that road. The second reason is that some of the Bat family members have the same problem Bruce does, and he doesn't want them to go down that route. Damian Wayne, Jason Todd, Cassandra Cain are all individuals that have killed in the past, and since they've been with Bruce and accepted his no-kill rule, they have grown, developed, and become better people because of it. And when they go down that path, like say Red Hood does, Batman often reprimands them, not necessarily for Batman's benefit, but rather the route or the path that those characters are going down. Jason, if you make this decision, if you decide to take a life, you're better than this. You're going to go down a dark path that you know is going to be hard or impossible for you to come back from. And lastly, to use that analogy again, if Batman is an alcoholic, if he knows that killing will send him down a dark path, why would he want to associate intimately and regularly with individuals who do the act that he knows he can't come back from? Because here's the thing, The Grim Knight is a cautionary tale of what happens when Bruce does kill. Because in The Grim Knight is a similar story to Bruce's. Only this Bruce Wayne, he kills. He thinks he can kill evil with a better weapon, with a better means. He can become Gotham's Angel of Death. But the problem is he starts making enemies with the Gotham GCP. And again, this is the escalation level. If they're in the way of Bruce doing what needs to be done, then they're a problem. Get rid of them. Or how he has orbital satellites that can unalive an assailant before they commit the crime. But don't worry there, Billy. You gotta stop crying because, see, Batman's always watching. Make sure you smile. Make sure you thank him because this is the safe world that we live in. See, the thing is, it goes back to escalation. Batman starts off and kills the Joker. Then he justifies killing his rogue gallery. Then he justifies killing the politicians because they're all corrupt. And what about those dirty cops? Let's get rid of them. And then eventually the government might get involved. Well, the government are in the way. Let's take care of them. And then at what point would it be an escalation level that the Justice League gets involved? And then Batman, is he a hero still? Or is he then the villain? Again, people, the why is important. But let's talk about the hypocrisy within the DC universe and outside the DC universe. If we criticize Bruce so much, a person who has a legitimate reason why he doesn't kill, because he knows it's not good, he'll go down a dark path. If we criticize Bruce so much for not killing the Joker, why haven't we criticized other people that should have? Jim Gordon, a father, a cop, who saw what the Joker has done not only to the civilians, but also to his daughter, hasn't unalived the Joker. Barbara Gordon, who had atrocities done to her, a survivor of the Joker. Why hasn't she taken him out? And Jason Todd, please, if anyone has a case, it's him, but he has yet to take the Joker out. Shit, why hasn't someone in Gotham, maybe a rich socialite, maybe someone in the government, or the Gotham PD, hell, why hasn't Alfred, who has no problems with people being unalived, hired Deathstroke the Terminator to do the job? You know, Slade would have got it done. And if you can't afford it, you can always get Deadshot. Deadshot can get the job done. See how the criticism on Batman's applied mainly on him, but not on the other people? But let's step over to Marvel, because this is a question that was asked by the voice of Gotham, King Six, and it's something that I've always asked. If we criticize Batman for not taking out his rogue gallery, why don't we criticize Spider-Man or criticize Daredevil? Specifically Daredevil, his no-kill rule. He has it in place because of his faith and his religion. That is his reasoning. Bruce has his, which he knows is a dark path he can't go down, and Daredevil has his because of his faith and his religion. But imagine if the roles were reversed, the reasonings were reversed, and we said Batman doesn't kill because of his religion. People who dislike Batman and dislike his no-kill rule would probably still shit on him. Because while the why for Daredevil or Spider-Man are important, couldn't you justify breaking your one rule regardless of the why? Couldn't you justify it to unalive the Kingpin? The amount of atrocities, crime, and torment that this guy has created, whether directly or indirectly, couldn't you break your one rule, Daredevil? Just for this? Just for him? And Spider-Man, please, you're smart enough that I'm sure you can figure out a way to taking out Carnage, unaliving him for good. You have a high enough intellect. Hell, your score is probably higher than Bruce. So why is he still around? Isn't it funny that we give a certain amount of energy to Batman, but not the same amount of energy to Spider-Man or Daredevil or Superman or anyone else? I don't know about you.
Hypocritical. What'd you say?
Because let's be honest, the reason why the no-kill rule gets brought up for Batman so much is because he's Batman. The Bat haters will regularly bring out this argument, among others, and the reasons why they do so is simply because they don't like the character or they don't like the toxic Bat stance, which I can understand. But here's the thing, when you criticize Batman to that level and you don't do it to other characters, whether it be Marvel or DC, that is what we call hypocrisy. You're doing it mainly because you don't like the character, and that's what it boils down to. You're doing it because you mainly don't like the fan base, or at least the toxic Bat stance, and that's what it boils down to. Because here's the thing about comics. With everything, there needs to be a certain level of suspension of disbelief. Does Batman's reasoning for the no-kill rule make sense? You could argue yes, you can argue no. But in the world of DC Comics, in Batman's world, it makes sense. Same as it makes sense that Daredevil's no-kill rule is in place because of his reasonings. Suspension of disbelief is an important thing when reading fictional media, because if I am going to believe that there's some guy flying around with his underwear on the outside of his pants, shooting laser beams out of his eyes and breaking the bonds of infinity, then I should allow myself to disbelieve that the reason why this guy doesn't kill is because he knows it will take him down a dark path that he can't come back from.